In the last 10 years, the internet has grown from being a search engine that allowed us to check information every so often to becoming a constant part of our lives. Smartphones in our pockets, tablets on the coffee table, laptops at our desk. Being connected now seems to be the norm, and being unconnected makes us feel uncomfortable. Websites have turned into apps that serve single purposes, such as checking our email or checking the weather. And with so many free ones, it's hard to understand how we are actually paying for them. These apparently simple tools often obscure complex processes. The SeRTES project aims to provide an understanding of the information ecosystem that surrounds these simple tools and offer a means of representing the invisible connections that make things appear so very easy. But like any technology, things are not what they seem. Take, for example, a visit to our local coffee shop. It becomes our favourite place to buy a latte because it offers free Wi-Fi, so we accept the terms and conditions and check our Facebook messages. Spotting an offer on the page of a nearby newspaper, we decide to scan the barcode for more details. Opening up our free barcode scanner, we scan the code that takes us to a website that offers us a discount on a book at a popular bookstore. But what is really happening here?
So the major threats in using a wireless devices in open environments such as cafe is that you will be connecting onto a wireless hotspot where you actually don't identify the network. You also will actually be pushed location-based apps onto your iPhones and iPads, which can actually harvest data for future financial gain.
But it wasn't just our security that may have been breached.
There are legal and privacy issues, which a customer may not be aware of. Before he uses the Wi-Fi, he must agree to the terms and conditions. This includes granting permission to the cafe to capture and retain information, including his contact details and the websites he visits. This information may be passed to and used by third parties. He does not realise it, but he consents to all of this by downloading and using the app.
Whilst internet experiences offer exciting opportunities for all of us, the SeRTES project is interested in how we make visible the connections that make them possible and how the data flows across them. Anticipating that this is likely to get worse, the SeRTES research team decided to map aspects of their own lives to better understand how complicated the activities, places and connections were as we went about our daily lives. We chose to map our weekends. We worked with Mitch Miller, an artist from Glasgow, to help draw them.
Dialectograms are a technique of documentary illustration. They combine elements of maps, architectural floor plans, comic strips and illustrative journalism to look at a place from various different angles, everything from its local history to its everyday life. For the SeRTES project, I was asked to look at the 7 weekends that had been documented by its investigators and turn them into sort of dialectogram sketches that would allow them to really investigate what was happening.
The drawings allow each member of the SeRTES team the opportunity to interpret the complex ecosystem that makes up our weekend. Our next step was to take these drawings and work with the software company Special Moves to build an app that allows each of us to annotate and draw attention to different aspects of the social and technical ecosystems that we call our weekends. By using the SeRTES mapping tool, we are able to isolate and highlight different parts of the system, such as legal and commercial, social and emotional, the services that we use including gas, electricity and water, as well as security and the internet, and of course the physical architecture of our own homes. Building on the principles behind the layer tool, we also developed an augmented reality app for Apple mobile devices, using the reality of the IPSI building at the University of Warwick as the base layer. Following a notional first day at IPSI storyline, layers can be selectively shown to represent different aspects of what is unseen in the environment, how to access IT services, guidance for use of AV equipment, and activities of the department. Information in the layers is presented using text, video, animation and voice. To highlight the unseen layers of online data security and privacy for young people, we also work with Mitch Miller again, as well as the published children's author Alison Irvine, to develop an ebook. This is being used to help educate children about the hidden dangers of the web.
I want young people to have an understanding about the internet before they do anything, so that they're empowered to use it in a way that is beneficial to them rather than harmful. The internet isn't simply about clicking on a button to do one thing. That click leads to a sequence of events. For example, their internet searches being passed on to other companies. So just to be aware that is happening. And also their identity on the internet and the identity of other people. They need to be careful of who they trust. If they don't know that person for real, then they've got to have a big degree of scepticism about who they're talking to. The young people just need to have this power all the time of how much do you reveal, how much you disclose, and to privacy. Also in the book I sort of wanted to think about the purpose of the internet itself. Knowledge is power, and if young people have that knowledge, then they stand a fighting chance of the internet being successful for them, and how it can be used for good and to make life easier and simpler.
As the project continues into the future, our hope is to use a tool like this to let other people extract particular insights from similar visualizations of other complex internet experiences. We hope that our tools will help people identify risks, opportunities for help, and understand security implications. But as well as all of the worrying things, we hope that tools like this will help people identify more opportunities for better interactions, for new transactions, and ultimately help to develop a better digital ecosystem. We expect that these insights will be used by policymakers, business leaders, and law enforcement officers to make intelligent decisions.